So Dave Ramsey has helped millions of people become debt-free. But there's one big old problem when it comes to his baby steps. It's outdated. Now hold up. If you think this is one of these videos where I'm just going to bash him and just start yelling and saying how horrible he is, this is not that type of video. There's already a whole bunch of videos out there with people bashing the guy, but how can you bash someone that helps so many people get out of debt? And not just that, I'm not the type of person that feels like I have to blow out someone else's candle in order for me to shine brighter. But what I'm going to do in this video to help you out is take his foundation and update it to these current times. It has not been updated in decades, and now I feel like this is something that certainly needs to be done. You see, because debt during these times is a lot different than from when Dave wrote these principles. So let's start with the first step. This is the step that everyone argues about, and you might as well, which is to save $1,000. Everyone thinks the $1,000 starter savings account is ridiculous during these times. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't consider the number to become ridiculous because the majority of society cannot even save $500. But I will say this, that is not a good amount to start, because if you continue using just $1,000 like he recommends, you will always continuously slide right back into step one for any little minor emergency. So what I'm gonna tell you is this, your starter should be $2,500. Yes, it might take you a little longer to get there, but the whole key is once you're out of the step one, you would go in step two, which is to pay off debt, which is the reason why most people follow his plan, to pay off debt. And hang around, guys, because I really have some great information for you guys to get you through step two nice and easy, and it's not the way Dave says. But the $2,005 that you need to save is a step, guys, that you really need to focus on and be patient. You cannot shortcut this and start saving $500 and then you skip and you go ahead and start paying off debt. My goal for you is to not have to go back to step one and start all over again. And $1,000, especially now we're having a car accident, a deductible is going to eat that all up. If you have to go to the doctors, it's going to eat all of that money up. It's going to take you a very long time to stay out of step one if you only have $1,000. And listen, getting $2,500 is not going to be that difficult. You could pick a side hustle, do some jobs in the weekend, Uber Eats, DoorDash, save, custom expenses. There's so many things that you can do, and it might take you some time to get to that amount, which is really good, because right now what you're doing is you're changing your whole lifestyle. You're changing your mindset. So it's going to take time and discipline. And if you're able to save $2,500 on your own, you're on your way to building wealth, and your chances of completing all the other steps is a whole lot higher. Now let's talk about baby step two. In Dave Ramsey's baby step two, what he wants you to do is pay off all your debt except for your mortgage. Not me. What I'm gonna tell you is this: get current on all your debt, avoid collections, and then start paying the high interest rate credit cards. Now, everyone is gonna attack me on this one because the debt snowball is all about paying the smallest balance first, the minimum on everything else, and once you pay off the smallest, you take that, you bring it on to the next, and there you go, you become debt free. And that definitely works. It has worked for so many people, and it's the psychology of it is the reason why it works. But the math side of things, which is the avalanche, which is paying the highest credit card interest rate first, that certainly works as well, especially with someone that's completely disciplined. Now, the big argument is not everyone's that disciplined. And when it comes to snowball, the biggest argument is, well, you're wasting so much money on interest. So here's what you should do. What I want you to do is do both of them. None of them is wrong. You could do both of these steps, and this is how. Gather up all your debt. Anything that has below 8% interest rate will be in one group. Anything that has 8% interest rate and above will be in the other group. The other group we're going to work on is going to be the ones with the high interest rate. All you need to do at this point going forward is do the debt snowball in this group. You want to pay the minimum balance on already high interest rate debt and use all that psychology that's within the debt snowball in the high interest account. Now you're technically doing both. You're saving money on interest and you're following the debt snowball method. Because you need to understand, not all debt is bad debt. You can have student loans with 3% interest rate, a car with a 4% interest rate. Leave those alone. That's not the big ones you need to worry about. It's the high interest rate accounts that are destroying you. So you see, you won't go back and forth saying which one's the right one. If you follow my method, that works as well, and it will save you a lot of interest in the long run. Now, his baby step 3 is to save 3 to 6 months expenses. I'm going to tell you to save for 3 months only, especially if you're renting and you have a stable job. Telling someone to save 6 months of expenses during these times is going to be extremely difficult. It doesn't mean that you never get to that point in your life, but if you have some stability in your life, 3 months is enough. And in this stage, what I want you to do is put this money within a high yield savings account, not one of these big banks that offer you no interest. We don't want to deal with that. We want to deal with some type of a high yield savings account. Me personally, I use Ally. I highly recommend that you use that, especially due to the fact that they have all these buckets where you can have a bunch of saving goals. I love it. I'm always using it and I highly recommend it. Step 4, and this is one of his recommendations, is to save 15% of your household income. Not me. I'm going to tweak this a little bit. I highly recommend you at least get your 401k match, put money in your Roth or your brokerage account. You see, the big thing is they don't look at the 401k match as part of the 15%. But I do. 15% is 15%. If you want to go more than that, by all means, you can. But you could at least stick to 15% and get the 401k match. Now, to make this as easy as possible for yourself, you certainly need to make this automatic. If you have a Roth IRA account, automatically transfer funds into your Roth IRA account or your brokerage account. It's even easier when you're doing it in your job because it's coming from your paycheck. And here you can use Fidelity, Vanguard. Those two are the most popular ones. But you certainly need to put your money in a low index fund. Now, the big thing here is a lot of people feel like that 15% only being from you, not the company match. That's a good thing. But I don't want you to feel discouraged if you do not get at least 15% of your income along with the company match into the account. You're doing a great job. Continue going. After you get your finances in order, you can certainly add more. But celebrate the 15% with the company match. It's money. The 5th step is to invest in future you, not the kids. In this step, Dave Ramsey talks about putting money aside for the kids' college fund. But I don't think you should do that. You should really make sure that you are secure within your own retirement. You should not be funding a kid's college when you are going to be struggling in the future. A lot of people start late with investing. And if you're starting late with investing, you got a lot of catching up to do. And worrying about the kids' education is not your number one priority, because in the future, if you're taking care of them and you're not taking care of yourself, most likely you'll be asking them for assistance. That's not something you want to do. Now, if you are in a good situation and you are doing good with retirement, that's when you start putting money into a 529 account. Then you will start putting money into the trade school or the college or whatever it is that you're trying to go into. But during this time, you certainly need to take care of yourself first. And never forget this: your kids can always borrow money from college, but you cannot borrow money for retirement. Now, step 6 is when you crush your debt, and the mortgage is optional. Now, Dave recommends you pay off your mortgage early. And what I recommend is you only pay off your mortgage if you maxed out your retirement account and you want a peace of mind. You see, because the goal is always to be debt-free. But you need to remember this: debt-free is less than financial flexibility. You need the flexibility to have time to do the things in your life that you want to do, not just to continue working to pay off this massive amount of a home, which is gonna have so much equity that you're not gonna be able to get until you sell your house. So having that money in the market and investing, that is the better option. But of course, once you're investing, you're doing everything you need to do, and you decide, you know what, I have so much money, I wanna pay off my house because when I'm old and I'm retiring, I don't wanna pay a mortgage, by all means, go for it. But try to max out your retirement and investing as much as possible. And step 7 is to build wealth and buy time. What Dave recommends is to build wealth and to give. I'm a very generous person and I understand why he says that. But what I recommend is you build wealth and you buy time. And then you give, invest, and you build a system to give you more time. That way you wouldn't have to work so much. You see, there's so many ways you could give as well that does not necessarily have to be financially. You could share some of the information that you learn. But of course, this is not a Scrooge mentality where I'm telling you, do not give, do not donate, do not give tips. Yes, you could do all of that, but you certainly need to stay on track to make sure you have all the free time you have in order for you to give away as much money as you possibly want. So you see, Dave Ramsey, he gave us a foundation. He helped out millions of people get out of debt. The only issue is there's not much flexibility within his plan. So that's why I decided to make this video and let you know you can be flexible, guys. This is personal finance. Every situation is a little different. I'm sure he's not going to say it in his show, but I'm sure if you follow his foundation and you tweak it a bit, he'll still be happy at the fact that at least you became debt free. So stop following outdated advice and thinking there's only one way to build wealth. There isn't. There's so many ways that you can build wealth, and the one that works for you is the best way. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what step you on and how you're doing on your financial journey. Catch you guys in my next video. Peace.